Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lorraine Rose, and if you're new here, please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. It means so much. For today's video, I decided to take the Magnolia Spring 2022 magazine, picking out my favorite articles and applying them to my household cleaning, organizing, and hosting routine. On my most recent vacation to the beach, I read the Magnolia Spring magazine and was reminded of how much this magazine has made an impact on my life in so many positive ways. Joanna Gaines has truly been an inspiration to me, inspiring me in my life and home. So I thought, what better way could I honor her than to create a video series on my channel sharing with each of you the many ways she has been a blessing to me, while also getting you all ready and excited for the summer ahead. This will be a small series I do on my channel with several videos, each with its own theme, based off of my favorite articles from the Magnolia Spring 2022 magazine. Today's video focuses on your bedroom, where you sleep, and make sure you hit that bell so you won't miss one video from this series, so you can enjoy this video series all spring and summer long. So let's just get right into it. For today's video, I'm going to be focusing on the master bedroom, creating a refreshing new space on a budget, setting myself and my home up to enjoy the summer months ahead, creating a peaceful space to rest my head at night after a long, full day. So as I opened up the Magnolia magazine, I was inspired by a picture of a bedroom. It looked so inviting, a place to go to get refreshed. It motivated me to create a space in our home that I could go to and unwind in, where I could immediately walk up to and mentally leave all the cares of the day and the to-do list for the week at the door. A place to daydream, to sing a joyful song, a place of refuge and sanctuary, clear of clutter, simple and inviting. Now, before each new season change, I like to declutter my closet as the summer is right around the corner. What better time than to do so now? Typically, I will create a capsule wardrobe on my clothing rack and use my closet for overflow clothing items, but for this video, I'm going to take it one step further. I'm going to empty my clothing rack completely and condense my clothes down to where I can have a capsule wardrobe only in our main closet. Now, what I did was I made a pile of what I want to keep and then what I want to store away for next season and what items I want to donate. And then I created a capsule wardrobe, making it easy to get dressed this summer. When we don't have as many options, we are inspired to create timeless, curated outfits using what we have in front of us instead of trying to make one outfit out of hundreds of different pieces. When it comes to my wardrobe, I believe less is more. And I'll show you where I put all of my overflow clothes a little bit later on in the video. Closet systems can be very expensive, but if you fold items as if they are being put on display, adding a few new large baskets, some smaller boxes, replacing maybe an old jewelry box with new thrifted crystal dishes to refresh and fill in spaces, then what was once an old outdated closet system can be just as beautiful as a more expensive brand new closet system. And I'll show you how I created that in my closet in this video as well, because as much as I would like to just get the closet out completely and recreate a brand new, beautiful, Pinterest-worthy closet, that's just not realistic for us in our lifestyle. So that's one thing I really want to encourage you in this video, is you don't have to have a lot of money to make a space look beautiful. Now, one thing that I would recommend though is to create a wish list for each space within your home of what you would like that space to look like, and then save up for those spaces, and don't feel like you have to get it all done at once. And then in the meantime, you can do these simple things that I'll be showing you in my video series. But what I want to do as far as my wish list for this bedroom is I do eventually want to put a brand new closet system in. I want to paint the walls like a really pretty creamy linen color. I want to paint the doors and the trim. I do want to replace the curtains for blackout Roman shades. I want to replace the fan with a more sleek modern fan. I want to add wall sconces to either side of the bed so we have night lights in the evening time. And I would, this is a big one, like to replace the carpet with wood floors and then just add a large area rug because our carpets get so dirty with our dogs, which I will be deep cleaning this carpet in this video, so I'll give you a good recipe for that. But realizing what's within our budget at the moment, when you can be real with where you are financially and choose not to put things on credit and learn to be content, it can really give you peace as you wait to do the things to your house that you're desiring to do. My husband and I like to save up cash to do projects, and we see our home like we see our life. It takes time to grow and change. Our growth can often be a lot slower than we would like, but we don't rush the process. We celebrate our victories just as much as we do our failures, because even in our failures, we can choose to learn and grow from them, extending grace to ourselves and one another along the way as we are all still growing. This is the same with our home. Most people only post pictures of their homes when they are exactly what they want them to be. No one really talks about the struggle in walking past all of the things in their home they want to change day in and day out, but it doesn't happen overnight for most of us. We have to wait, save, live simply, while also being generous to give what we have to those we love and care about. Life sometimes can get in the way of saving for our house projects, but it's okay because I look at my house as I do myself, and I just say to myself, it's okay. You may not be perfect. You may never be exactly what I want, but in you is a home filled with love, joy, honesty, peace, and comfort. So I give you, my home, that freedom to take your time to get where I would like you to be at. All right, and then once I was done going through all of my clothes and decluttering and taking my clothing rack out of the room, I went ahead and I did some shopping, and then I kind of redecorated my closet to make it look like more of a boutique. And so I'm going to kind of explain to you what I did. So those baskets on the left-hand side are empty. I pulled those from off the floor in my bedroom just to create a more clean, minimal space in my room, and I put those in my closet. And I like to keep empty baskets or bins in my home along with other items that have things in them just to give me room to grow. And then I purchased these 4 boxes with lids from Target. I'll link them down below, and those are also empty because, like I said, I want to give my space room to grow in. And then I just folded these large knit blankets that I already had. There's 2 of them, and I put those at the top of the closet just to kind of fill in that space and make it look a little bit more decorative, and I will link those blankets down below for you as well. And then I just kind of housed some of my favorite high heels on the top shelf, and then on these 2 shelves I put mine and my husband's jeans in these clear bins, and then to the right of them in these baskets is where I put all of our hats at, and I will link those bins and baskets down below as well. And then I went to Goodwill and I thrifted these beautiful crystal dishes, and I replaced my old dated jewelry box with these beautiful timeless pieces, and this is where I house all of my jewelry, and I condense my jewelry down into the things that I just really love, creating more of a minimalist space. And then I just put these wooden rings that I got at TJ Maxx to the right of the jewelry just to fill in the space and make it look more boutique and decorative. And then on the bottom 2 shelves, I just folded all of my shorts, my workout shorts for the summer, and all of my thicker knit sweaters. And then I've got these 2 baskets on the bottom that I left empty to once again give me room to grow in, and I am just so pleased with how it turned out. And then in the guest bedroom is where I housed all of our overflow clothes, so our clothes for the fall, the winter, as well as the springtime. And then eventually we would like to expand our closet in our master bedroom and we can fit all of our clothes in there. But yes, this is all of our overflow clothes, and I did kind of try to create it to where it looked kind of, you know, curated and nice as well. So yeah, that's kind of how I did that. Now, another way that you can spruce up any space is to deep clean your carpet with a good carpet cleaner. Now, not all of us are able to afford to get our carpets professionally cleaned or to even rent a carpet cleaner, even though those are two great options. But you can actually make your own carpet cleaner, and that's what I did. I got this large 5-gallon bucket that we already had, and I filled it up with water. And then I added 2 cups of distilled vinegar, 3 cups of glass cleaner with ammonia, about 2 to 3 squirts of dish soap, 2 scoops of OXICLEAN odor blast stain remover, and then all you'll need is a scrub brush and a squeegee. And I waited until the evening time. I put my dogs in their crates, and then I just kind of poured the liquid on the carpet, one small section at a time, and I brushed it really good, and then I squeegeed it out really good, and it worked. I mean, it really, really cleaned my carpet. Whenever I am not deep cleaning my carpet, which I only do about once a year, I love to use the OXICLEAN spray, and that actually, I'll show you a clip of it in a moment, that actually works so good. I would highly recommend that. So yeah, this whole bedroom kind of like little mini makeover took me about a full week to do, and that's another thing I would recommend whenever you're kind of wanting to go into a space to spruce it up, to get it ready for the new season. Take your time, give yourself 1 to 2 weeks to do it, so that way you can really enjoy the process and do a really good, efficient job. So yeah, that's just my little tip. And this is the stain remover that I like to use on my carpet in between those deep cleans, and it works so good. I love it. Now, these are the current knobs on our dresser, and I am going to switch them out for these knobs. Now, you won't see me do that in this video because we had to go to the store a couple of times to find the right screws. It took a few tries, but I think this is just a really great way to create a whole new look within your space without having to paint your entire dresser or purchase an entire new piece. Just replace your existing knobs with new knobs that kind of flow a little bit better with the space, and it really does make a huge difference. And I will link the knobs that I'm replacing these with down below. I love them so much. They're so beautiful. They're kind of antique and timeless, and they really do make any piece of furniture. They just really elevate it. You know what I mean? And so I just gave our dresser a nice good polish, and then I switched out that black metal basket with this basket that I actually thrifted. I love going to the thrift stores and collecting different crystal dishes and wicker baskets, and I also like to get my clothes there, and I just thought that this wicker basket kind of went better with the room, just that light, airy feel, the minimal feel. I felt like the black basket was just kind of like harsh, and this wicker basket I feel like kind of really grounds the space, so I like that. And then I just added a little crystal dish to the side of the basket that I thrifted, and I went ahead and I put a candle on that glass dish that I also thrifted later on in the video. And then I went ahead and I moved on to decorating this shelf that my husband made me above our bed. On mine and my husband's anniversary trip this past April, we collected some driftwood, so I figured this would be the perfect time to do a DIY, all inspired by just that one picture from a magazine. And this is just a perfect example of how you can look into a space or in a magazine, get inspired, and then recreate something unique for yourself from it. And so basically all we did was we cut the driftwood down into these pieces here that you see, and then I drilled holes in the middle and I strung them through this rope that I already had to create this beautiful driftwood garland, and to also create just such a sweet memory from mine and my husband's anniversary trip. And this is what I used to redecorate that shelf with. I thought this would be just so beautiful, really kind of more minimal, and something that would really add a lot of texture to the room and design as well. So I'm very pleased with how this turned out, and this was free. It didn't cost me any money at all. And when we do go to actually do a real makeover to this room, doing some of the things that I mentioned to you in the beginning of the video, I'm gonna have us take the shelves down and use that garland as kind of like a headboard. We're gonna just put it on the wall, up behind our bed to create an even more minimal look. And I am just so pleased with how that turned out. So I think there's definitely things you can do to, kind of elevate a space without even having to spend any money. And you're also at the same time, like in this case, adding memories to the room, which I love that so much. But anytime I go to buy decor for any space, I always like to buy things that are big and chunky that will fill in a space instead of, buying a bunch of little small things. So that's just another little tip. But now we are ready to move on to what really inspired this video for this series, which is the bed. I went ahead and I added a white fitted sheet that I already had, and if it is in your budget to do so, adding some new linens to your bed can really help you transition into a new season change with comfort and ease. And so what I did was I purchased this king size flat bed sheet so I can create this look right here in the magazine, how they have it just hung over, draped all the way almost down to the floor. And we have a queen size bed, so I felt like a king size would really give me that look that I was going for, and I will link these sheets down below for you as well. Just opening up to the first page of Magnolia inspired me to redesign my bedroom to encourage me to rest, hope, and dream this summer season. Instead of going to a large department store like Nordstrom or even Target, which can tend to have higher priced bedding, opt for a more budget-friendly store like Ross or TJ Maxx. Now, I did end up going to Kohl's, and that is where I found the new comforter that I got for our bed, and I will link it down below for you. But I really loved this one because it was so thick. It's that waffle weave texture, and it was on sale. It was a great price, so I'm very pleased with it. Jesus instructs us in the Bible. He says, "Come to me and I will give you rest." So many people think that to be rested means they get plenty of naps in, they go to bed early so they can get long hours of sleep every night. Many people set their lives up in such a way to where nothing bad can happen, and when bad things do happen, instead of dealing with those hardships, they kind of will just force good thoughts into the bad situations for the illusion that their life is perfect, void of anything that may come in and interrupt their perfect world they have created for themselves, just kind of brushing everything under the rug. This is not rest. This is a breeding ground for stress, sickness, and anxiety. We don't need to put so much effort into making sure nothing bad ever happens to us, and that we derive our energy from only physical sleep, being happy only when life is good. Not that we are to live in a place of fear, expecting bad things to happen, but the truth is, life is hard. Bad things do happen, and they will happen. And sometimes we will have busy schedules. Our lives will be interrupted by unexpected things and people that require our attention and energy. I don't want to live my life and say, well, good job, Lorraine, you got plenty of sleep and you worked really hard to create the most comfortable life for yourself. No, I want to look back on my years on this earth and say it was hard. I said yes to things that in and of myself felt so impossible. I was kind of tired a lot, but I lived a full life with a heart that said yes, even to the most hardest of challenges. I didn't run and hide when things got hard. I trusted God to give me the strength I needed to endure each trial that came my way, and I brought glory and honor to God in every area of my life. One thing the Lord taught me several years ago was how to find peace and rest in the midst of busyness and chaos. We can walk in peace regardless of what's going on around us. I can thrive off of only a few hours of sleep a day if during the day I am walking in the peace of God. How do you do that, you may ask? I do that by surrendering my will into the Lord's will, by not doing things in and of my own strength. I do not rely on the voice of others to lead me and guide me in day-to-day tasks, how to be a wife, a friend, or in some people's case, a mother. I rely on the voice of God, and when I am confronted with a weakness, whether it be laziness, selfishness, fatigue, the desire to close up from the world and run and hide, instead I turn to the Lord in prayer and ask Him to give me strength to do what is required of me in that moment. The Word of God says that we are His sheep and we hear His voice, so you can have confidence in that. That is what it looks like for me. This is not to disregard seeking guidance from the people in our lives that we trust when we come to a dead end and we can't seem to find victory over certain struggles in our lives. We do need people to speak truth when we are having a hard time seeing it, because when we're in the hard trials of life, we're so emotionally involved that sometimes, we don't really see clearly. And so we need people to speak in that aren't emotionally involved, if that makes sense. Sometimes we can avoid hitting dead ends when we first ask the Lord in good times how to navigate through the hard times. And when we never go through and overcome hard things, what happens is we end up staying really shallow people who are unable to grow the way the Lord intended us to. Our struggles shape us and strengthen us, preparing us for the harder battles ahead. And now, I personally do not know a whole lot. I don't have victory in every area of my life, but in this series, I will talk about the areas where I do have victory, so that maybe my freedom can bring liberty and encouragement to those who are listening. Typically, I try to keep my decor as minimal and purposeful as possible, allowing every piece to not only be beautiful, but also functional. And the last thing that I did for this makeover was I purchased this beautiful, it looks a little bit antique piece that you would stack wood in, but instead I'm stacking blankets in it just to fill in this space a bit, since I moved the chair from this end of the room to the other end. Now, I am creating more of a minimal look in my bedroom, but I do like for it to feel styled and decorated, but I like for whatever decor I put in it to look meaningful and, like I said, dual purpose of functional but also beautiful. Sometimes as I move from spring into summer, I still like to apply spring cleaning principles to my summer cleaning routine. One thing I love about the Magnolia magazine is that it is so much more than an accumulation of articles to be read. Within each page are tools we can take and apply to our everyday lives. An instruction guide on how to enjoy the most mundane of tasks. So I hope as you watch this video, you will be left with that same feeling, as well as a greater desire to pour into the things that truly matter, from the greatest of tasks down to the most mundane activities like doing laundry or doing the dishes. Hopefully this video series will not only encourage and inspire you in your home this summer, but also show you how you can take pieces from any magazine and apply it to your regular cleaning routine and household chore list. So don't forget to hit that bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video to my channel, and so you won't miss any of the videos from the series I'm going to be doing this summer. Until next time, I love you guys so much. Bye!